Hi there, here's mental coach Shato from Maintenance Academy in Poland in Magdeburg, Germany. Welcome to another edition of my mental training online program. Today we are closing the discussion of chapter 13 about turning a crisis into a creative opportunity. Last time we talked about athletes that perform well under crisis conditions and others that perform not so well under the same crisis conditions, and we discussed why this is the case. Another example is the shadow boxing. Many boxers practice shadow boxing when there's no opponent, so nothing can happen. There's absolutely no stress because nobody can hurt them, even if they don't block fast enough or if they don't land the punch. They are not so fast to throw their punch. Nothing happens. There's no opponent, so they can make plenty of mistakes. They can learn. There's no stress. There's no crisis. There's nobody punching back. So they have the time to learn something. So it becomes automatic. So when really a crisis situation comes, somebody that hits back, they can react automatically without having to think. So practice without pressure, without an opponent. Another advice that Dr. Maut gives us is we should not think about what will happen. We should not think about what is happening or what the others are doing, but we should be thinking about what we want to happen and what we want to do. Focus on what's within our capability and what it is that we want to do and what it is that we want to happen, and not what everybody else is doing. Dr. Mao says that actually a crisis situation is something that gives us more power. In a crisis situation, people actually realize what hidden powers they had that were sleeping within them. In a crisis, we really have to give everything that's out there, and often in our daily lives, we never have to resort to those hidden powers because we never need them. But in a crisis situation, we truly realize what we are actually capable of. And whenever you're in a crisis, you must remain goal-oriented. You must keep your goal in mind. As I just said, you always want to remain focused on what it is that you want to achieve, what you want to do, and what you want to happen. So you keep your goal in mind. Dr. Mao says a crisis situation does not have to be something bad, and in fact, the feeling that we have, like anger and fear and courage, this is all excitement, and this is there to help us. So being afraid, being angry is not always a bad thing. Often it's a reaction from our body, organism, to protect us and to bring out all the powers that we have at our disposal. So if you have an enemy that you are incapable to defeat, you have fear, so you're running away like the bear. If you have an enemy that you can defeat, you get angry because anger gives you additional power to defeat your opponent. So you should learn to direct your excitement towards a goal, and it becomes courage. So courage, Dr. Mao says, is excitement that is channeled towards a certain goal that you want to achieve. Another advice how to become calmer, how to decrease our nervousness, is to ask ourselves, what's the worst thing that can happen? For example, you're having a Wimbledon match and you are very nervous, and realize that nothing could happen. There's Wimbledon next year, there's Wimbledon every year, so even if you fail miserably, nobody will remember you anyway. People don't even remember all the winners of champions of Wimbledon every year, and if you exit or lose at semi-final or quarterfinals, nobody really cares, and you're not losing anything. Nothing bad happens. There's next tournament a week later. So first imagine what's the worst possible thing that could happen, and then convince yourself that it is manageable and it is not that bad at all. Just as a salesperson who is very scared of a presentation because he might not sell his product, well, if you don't sell your product, you can sell it to somebody else on some other day. And it's very important shift of attitude. Dr. Mao says, especially now in the example of the salesperson, it's not, you're not going into the sale and we're thinking, oh, I'm afraid of losing those clients, because you don't have them. You have nothing to lose. You should go with the attitude, I have nothing and I'm going in and I can make a sale. So it's not, you don't focus on I can lose the clients, but you focus on I can win the clients. It's not that you're, it's like a boxer that's defending his championship belt, and he's going in to defend the title. There are two attitudes that he can have. One is, oh, I'm going to defend my title, I better not lose, because if I lose, I'm losing my. So he goes into the match with the idea of losing, whereas another shift, another change in attitude would be he would go into and say, okay, I've left my belt where the referee is, it is not mine anymore. I am fighting now to win it. Okay? So I'm going into the the situation not afraid of losing something, but excited to win something. And if you can make this shift in your attitude, you're a lot more aggressive towards your goal. You're not timid, you're not scared, you don't fail under the crisis, but you react in an aggressive and positive way towards the crisis, and obviously a more better performance is the result. That's all for that chapter. Until next week.